I'm back to doing my Dream Team voice casting again, and I've got to say, this time it's Final Fantasy VIII, and I know that a few characters actually have a voice, or an English voice in this version, but remember the Final Fantasy VII remake? If they could change voice actors, why can't we? Now, I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to say Riona's voice and Ultimisha's voice I'm not going to find voices for, because I like their Dissidia voice counterparts. You hear that, creators? I like their fucking Dissidia voices. Leave them alone. But the other cast, I will. So let's get things started and let's start finding a voice for almost each and every character that is the main characters of the story. That means Squall, Cypher, yada 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 yada. So let's get things started and let's start voicing this shit. Let's go! Dream Team Voicecast of Final Fantasy VIII Remake. Let's hit it! First is Squall. Now, I know that he has a Dissidia voice, and it's Doug Erholtz. But I'm going to tell you guys a little story about Mr. Erholtz. The dude, in reality, he's not that good of a voice actor. All his voices sound pretty much the same. When it comes to voices like Asuma Saratobi and characters from Bleach, they all sound the fucking same. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of something about my personal experience with this guy. He's a dick. Doug Erholtz is kind of an asshole, especially to his fan base. I spent most of the night making him edits one time, and even offering him a mug, and the dude was such a prick that he sent another voice actor to tell him to leave him alone, because I was bothering him. Well, anyway, this has nothing to do with personal voices, but his voice actually doesn't fit the loner voice for Squall anyway. It's just, I don't like this guy as a person, and you know that I would never actually let personal feelings interfere in any way, because I always pick Chris Sabat, and I personally don't like him as a person either. So I'm just saying, who would I pick to voice Squall? Well, this person is actually a different person, but he voiced Squall previously, and that voice choice goes to David Boreanaz. From Kingdom Hearts 1, he played Squall, and honestly, he's the best iteration of the character, in my opinion. His voice fits just perfectly in my book. It is a excellent fucking fit. The first time that they casted David Boreanaz as Squall was excellent. No matter how many times I've played the game, or read fan art, or done anything that involved Squall in any way, I always hear David Boreanaz's iteration of the character. I think his voice just is a perfect fit. And honestly, yeah, I'm going to go with that. If they actually remake the game and they pick him again, I would be so freaking happy. Now, I know age has a big thing to do with why they recast characters, but David actually has sounded the same since his role in Angel. Anyhow, what I'm going to do here is actually play voice clips from Kingdom Hearts 1 to show you guys what I think of his version of Squall, and you can tell me what you guys think. Let's play them.
Come at you out of nowhere, and they'll keep on coming at you, as long as you continue to wield the Keyblade. But why? Why would it choose a kid like you? Never mind. Now, let's see that Keyblade.
Next is Zell. A lot of people either love Zell or they hate Zell. Me, I personally love this little shithead. He's great. I absolutely would cast Zell in this game easily. He is just a fun, hyper, overactive character with a lot of personality. I think Zell actually suffers from ADHD. He's the dude that actually fist fights. He doesn't need weapons. He will kick your ass with his bare fist, making him pretty awesome. Plus, that tattoo on his face is a definite reference of Mike fucking Tyson. So yeah, now I get to talk about Zell and how awesome I love him. Zell is very hyperactive. He's, like I said, constantly energetic, always on the go, rolling, and the perfect voice choice I had to fit him would happen to be Robbie Rist. Now, Robbie, you guys probably know as Choji from Naruto or the original Mikey from the Ninja Turtle movies. If you didn't know that, hey, there you go. Anyhow, I absolutely love Robbie in this one. I mean, I think Robbie would be a perfect fit to capture Zell's overly hyperness, overly energetic character. It would just be an excellent fit. Honestly, if he just kept up with his, human boulder, cold cut combo thing going on, I think he would fit perfectly for the role of Zell. Honestly, when I play the game, I always constantly hear Robbie's voice. And like I said, age is a factor. Robbie still sounds like a teenager. He's been voicing Choji since Naruto when the series was dubbed in 04, 05, and he has kept on that role. He's voiced him when he was a little kid. Robbie has a very unique sounding voice, and personally, I think it would be a perfect fit for Zell. Plus, we gotta get Robbie a main lead role. It would be awesome to hear him playing one of the main Final Fantasy characters. Let's roll the clips and move on.
Oh, a fellow chucker, eh? Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds. Oh, God, I love being a turtle! Human boulder!
Now we have Selphie. Selphie is... it's hard to explain her personality, but she has a childlike, innocent characterization to her that is kind of interesting. I absolutely enjoy her on screen or off, and I know she has a Kingdom Hearts 1 voice, but that was for Selphie when she was 12 or 13 years old, and I will openly say she did a wonderful job portraying Selphie, the original actress from Kingdom Hearts 1, but I'm thinking of a character that can make herself sound very innocent sounding, but at the same time, she can change up her voice to make her sound pretty badass. But I kind of get a childlike innocence when I listen to Selphie's voice, or when I read her dialogue on screen. And that voice choice is going to go to Sherry Lynn. Now, Sherry Lynn has been known to voice a lot of younger female characters lately. Her most known voice is Sasami from the Tenchi Muyo series. Personally, I think she would be able to get a perfect combination of innocent, childlike Selphie and badass sounding Selphie at the same time, making her be pretty unique and capturing a more different type of performance. I also kind of hear her voice as Sakura from the original Fate Stay Night series. I love Sherry Lynn's voice and her performance, and she's just fantastic in enough on her own. By the way, in the photo I used here, I designed that shirt, even though it's kind of blurry here. I apologize. I don't think the ratio was very good when she put it on her Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But anyhow, yeah, I would easily pick Sherry Lynn to play Selphie. She would be an excellent choice here.
Ah, Tenchi, hello! Ayaka's here too! Ayaka, come out! Ayaka! What's wrong with you? Tenchi's here too! Why? We're already here now. Let's go in together. Please, come outside! Tenchi, are you alright?
Now we're going on to Bon Jovi's cowboy, Irvin from Final Fantasy VIII. And personally, Irvin is kind of a ladies' man. He's always real laid back. He's kind of slick, kind of cool. There's only really one voice I would pick for him. Irvin is also highly confident, and he talks shit constantly. I mean, throughout the entirety of the series, or of the game, of all, I think there's 4 discs? I think there's 4 discs. Irvin is a shit talker. And he's kind of an asshole, too. And a womanizing douchebag. And honestly, I hope that the guy that I picked to play him doesn't feel insulted by this choice in the least, because it's his performance as a certain character that kind of just got me to pick this role. And that voice choice is going to easily go to Tony Oliver. Tony just has that badass voice. Now, I'm mainly going because of his role of Lancer or Harry McDougal from Gungrave. I think would be a perfect fit for Irvin. I mean, Irvin is a smug asshole, and Tony Oliver's voice kind of captures that smug asshole-ishness, I guess would be a perfect way to say it, in his tone. I mean, if you listen to his role as Lancer about how he hits on Reen from Unlimited Blade Works, or if you listen to him in Gungrave as how his character is as Harry McDougal, the young Harry McDougal, by the way, in Gungrave or whatever, then you're gonna really see that the voice matches up here. Tony would be a perfect fit to play Irvin, and Irvin, yeah, I think the characters would work off each other really, really fucking well. Irvin, like I said, is a slick, cocky asshole that's a womanizer, and Tony Oliver's voice just radiates that kind of awesome chemistry there. So let's move on.
Stooping to dirty tricks is the role of the master. My kind simply fight where and when we're told. Am I right, my invisible buddy?
No way you can see him. That means you're a servant.
And if you know all that, little girl, can I assume that you are my enemy?
We have Quistis. Quistis, who was actually one of the original main characters we meet up with. She has this cool, sexy look to her, blonde, sexy teacher, older girl. I can't really explain it. She starts out in the game with a big crush on Squall, and she openly hits on him, even though she's the instructor of their group. She will openly fucking hit on him. And I just find that hilarious. But from her personality and her design, I see her with a really sexy toned voice. And I've casted this voice actress many times in my other Dream Team voice cast. In fact, I just casted her as another lead in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0 Dream Team voice cast. That voice choice is gonna easily go to Mela Lee. Honestly, I don't say this lightly because, well, you know, it sounds so freaking cliche and generic to say it, but Mela Lee looks like she was born to fucking play Quistis. Her voice would fit her perfectly. Quistis can be a badass or kind of a flirt throughout the game's runtime, and I think Mela Lee, especially her voice for Rin Tosaka or her character from Bleach, would be an excellent voice choice for that. I mean, every time I read Quistis' dialogue, I hear Mela's voice coming out. And it's a weird choice in general to say that because she sounds so young. But I think if she just maybe makes her voice a little more adult, it would fit fucking perfectly. Maybe using her voice from some of her video game role renditions, it would be an excellent fit. Quistis is what you call one of those teachers, sexual teachers, and Mela Lee's voice happens to have an amazing sensuality to it. God, please don't confuse me for simping for her because I'm not. Let's go on to the next character.
I need them to create something called a meteorite. It's a magic stone made from comet particles. If you wear it, it'll enhance your abilities. Did I drain my powers when I sealed the Demon God King? I haven't gotten any of it back yet.
Next is Cypher. And of course, Cypher did have a voice in Kingdom Hearts 2. He was voiced by Batman Beyond's voice actor, whose name I keep forgetting, and Ron Stoppable originally. And he does a pretty good job, I'm not gonna lie. But this version of Cypher, you have to remember, is an asshole. He's even more of an asshole than his Kingdom Hearts 2 counterpart. And he doesn't dress like a rapper. Instead, he dresses like a douchebag. He dresses like one of those jocks you see in school that are like, hey man, this is my fucking deal, blah blah blah. He has an obsession with being the best, and he can be a little sadistic when he's the villain. Especially when he's trying to manipulate characters like Renona or Squall or whoever to do his bidding. And I'm gonna say that voice choice is gonna easily go to And you guys are probably gonna laugh. Crispin Freeman. Like I said, yet again, I think Crispin Freeman would be perfect to play Cypher. And I mean, he would capture his more sadistic nature and his more evil dialogue that he gives off. Like, Cypher says things like, I'm going to live my romantic dream. I could see Crispin Freeman kind of giving that a lighter tone at the beginning of the game. And then around the end, when he is full-fledged fucking evil, he becomes, like, into his Kirei Kotomine voice from the Fate series. And he is just enthralled in the role. Hell, even his Alucard voice would fit Cypher perfectly. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm throwing that out there. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, Crispin Freeman is just one of those voice actors that has a very memorable voice, and he can play either a good guy or a bad guy. Well, why not pick a character that is in between those roles? He's definitely more on the bad side in this game, but he sort of redeems himself.
I cannot imagine a mage using magic as powerful as command seals in a manner so wasteful and immature. If there were one, he would either be an ignorant novice or merely a coward not worthy of the craft.
This is the last character I'm going to do, and that's Sorceress Edea. Sorceress Edea is kind of a unique looking character. And before anyone asks, no, I'm not going to find Ultimecia a voice actress, because I think her voice actress in Dissidia was perfect. And her voice actress is actually an all-around really nice person, and I really like her performance too. And I hope they don't fucking change her like they did with the cast in Final Fantasy VII, because I will be doing a fucking dub battle on that. But if they do change her, I hope they, actually find a better voice actress than that. Anyway, back to Edea, anyhow. Edea is sort of the villain for maybe the first 2 discs of the game. It's been a while since I've played, guys. I haven't played in like 8 years, so I don't remember which disc she kind of flips to being a good character or flips back. But I'm thinking it's disc 3, she kind of reverts to being good again. However, they keep her shrouded in mystery, and she's also the wife of Robin Williams Sid. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Edea is a character, like I said, that plays off mostly evil until around the middle of the game. And we don't find out her story, that she's matron, until way later. There is only really one voice choice I would pick for her, and that voice choice happens to go to Paula Tiso. And I know this is kind of cheating because Paula herself was in Final Fantasy X as Lulu, but that's the voice choice I really see playing Edea, is Paula Tiso. I don't know. Maybe it's because of her performance as Lulu, maybe not. Her voice is what I heard when I first played the original game back in 2006, 2007 I was in high school when I played Final Fantasy VIII for the first time, so I heard Paula Tiso's voice a lot. She has this really dark voice, and I don't know how to describe it really well, but it's kind of that monotone voice that she used for Lulu. I could see her playing as the evil Edea, and then when she gets to be a good version of Edea, she kind of uses her voice performance and lightens it up a little bit more, making her more of a better liking character, because that's how I kind of imagine the character sounding. A lot like Lulu, but maybe a tad darker in the first run, but in the second half, more of a cheerful-ish character. And personally, I think her voice just really fits well. I don't know what it is, I just love it. Here's some voice clips, and then I'll get to the end of the video.
You truly are clueless. Are you sure it's just your memory that's the problem? Should these souls remain in Spira, they become fiends that prey on the living. Sad, isn't it? The sending takes them to the far plane, where they may rest in peace.
That's my Dream Team voice cast for Final Fantasy VIII. Is there any more characters you want me to find voices for the game? let me know in the comments. I know that Laguna's team, which Laguna himself already has a voice, so I'm not actually going to pick a voice for Laguna, but I know his team needs a voice, and so does Sorceress Adele, and so does a few other minor characters like Rain and etc. I do need to find them voices, so I may continue this on in part 2. There may be a part 2 of this, so don't fret on it. And anyway, if you want me to do a part 2 to find the other characters and voices, let me know in the comments, or let me know on Twitter. Always remember, I'm listening.
I have a very important question. Did you like what you saw? I'm betting you did. And if you did, you should like and subscribe to Mr. Tim's YouTube. Lots of awesome reviews, lists, interviews. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you're missing out. Always remember, he's listening.